Good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia. Oh, there we go. Good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader at TradeView Markets. And I was looking at Coach's title, which is a great title, Head of Trader Development. You know what? I'm signed up for that as well. It's a great title for coaching. It deserves it. All right. So listen, it's the end of the quarter. If you're listening to this, the webcast, if you will, one of two things are going on. Either you're going back and pressing, as I sign in here to TradeGATEHub, I sign in just as the same as everybody else in the TradeView Markets website. I sign in. So a couple of things. If you're listening to this, you're either going back and pressing the red YouTube button, or going back to our playlist and getting. Now I'm doing let me digress a second. We're doing videos every day now, twice a day. Coach and I started doing our video on Tuesday. Was what we would normally do is at 11 o'clock Eastern. Now we're doing it on Thursday. So if you're listening to this, you're probably either going back and getting an idea of how we're trading the end of the quarter, which it is today, this being what, September 30th, 2022, or your real time. So let me go back into what's going on here. Okay, this being the end of the quarter again. All right, so, like I said, we're never short of ideas here at TradeGATEHub. We trade a lot of different financial instruments. We have a lot of different ideas. We have everybody from all over the world, from Peru, Austria, England, New York, San Diego, and China. So we trade a lot of different instruments, and to a degree have some different styles. And this is more been prevalent in this type of market where the VIX is elevated, where there's not a lack of ideas. There never is in TradeGATE, believe me. But there's more lack of discipline than anything else. And these are where you can get into trouble, meaning don't let your losers your winners turn into losers. Don't concentrate too much, don't too much, depending upon your style. So I was a little hypocritical in this way. It's very difficult. Listen, there's another cliche out there, at least at my level, that trading isn't that difficult. Traders make traders difficult. And that's the degree at my end, because sitting here as an active manager, it's the discipline. The discipline is the hardest part, at least for me. And that's from my Wall Street career resonating with being a very, very, very active day trader. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest regret I have is that I just missed the SOS area. Coach will know what I'm talking about, but I just missed the SOS cutoff. That would have been my forte. But you know what? Just like every other market or any other person my level in their 50s, or I'm just turned 50, you started out as a gambler, then you start speculating, and then you go investing. You know what I mean? So I have a speculation account, which is my day trading account, as everybody can see, or a swing account, if you will. And then I have the other fund end. So with that being said, I got a little hypocritical because with the VIX being over 30, there's been tremendous day trading opportunities. You know what? A lot of stocks even showing relative strength and acting well. I wrote a couple of things how to bring up, including Twitter being one of them. All right, so let's get into the process. If everybody's tuning in here for today, outside of playing a replay, if you will, and what I am going to do is, as of 11:06 Eastern, is right after I get off here, I'll watch Coach's video at 9:30, as I've been doing every day. But I'm like, it's that type of week. Okay, so good morning. And this is my sign in for those that are on a regular basis. All right, so listen, I start off with a macro situation. Is it time yet? And I think as we go to the end of the quarter and seasonality, a negative seasonality starts to dissipate, hopefully, or wind off as we approach, earnings season coming up at the beginning in the middle through October, that some of that wears off. And this is the conundrum. Let me make another point here. And I bring this up like Adobe, Google, MasterCard, Meta, Microsoft, Nike, Visa, and PayPal, is because there's more trepidation. I've been a broken record, if you will, placing money and being confident in putting something aside and turning off the long-term fund and getting back to trading. So as we sit here, there's not a short of action or playing, but is it time to step into Google or any type of these stocks? Nike, for example, I have a position in the fund. I'm going to add to it a little bit, but this is a scar to a degree, just like the Walmart situation or Walmart chart, as I brought up yesterday, or Thursday with Coach. this Nike, this is with the Nike chart too. This is a scar. You know what I mean? I liked it better than Nike's down here because, it's almost capitulating where the bad news is out. But it seems like where's it going to go from here? But the bad news of the bad news is that, it's going to be more than 1 or 2 quarters. And that seems to be, the predominant theme with inflation going to a lot of these stocks. As we come up to the final quarter of earnings season, let's see how a lot of these stocks reacted. For example, a TTT last quarter, by the way, it is a T, TTT's getting, look at this thing. That's going to get us. That's, that gets the highlighter. Look at that on breakout. Volume 63. Maybe TTT goes to 65 by the end of today, expiration. It's headed there. Boom. Over the moving average, even over the 200-day. Another one. Now I'm jumping ahead. Just that's what I do. I apologize. Twitter, another one that's acting low, right? Twitter. I mean, the NASDAQ has been, let's talk about relative strength. NASDAQ this is the NASDAQ or the Qs. Okay. So you see that there. This is Twitter. Obviously, it's not making lower lows. As a matter of fact, to a degree, it's making higher lows, higher highs. So there it is, Twitter breaking above a 5-day consolidation. It's a weekend. It's generally has a lot of news to it. And like we say, I don't care if it makes widgets. That's a chart you want to be involved in. So Twitter's been hanging in there. TTT, another one. How about Oxy? Or Oxy? You know what? Oxy, another one we took a position in. What else is going on? So let me go back to I'm just using an example. It's some things are working for every style of trader. Let me see what that UCO is. I might sell that, Lewis. UCO, I sold some. Where are my trades? You know what? I bought it. I sold Alcoa. I made a nice trade in. At 35.69. I was buying Alcoa all the way at 33.68, 35. I just sold it right on the air. The market must be ripping. It is. All right. I digress. Give me a second, please. All right, I'm done. Fast. Market's going up nicely. Oh, you know what? We'll look at my board here. We're not shy. I just want to cover up the thing. Let's look at what's going on right now. Bottom line, real-time trading. Skip all that. All right, here we are with the SPYs. The line in the sand, as I said this morning, was what? 263 and change, what the numbers showed. Everything, it was the opposite of the other day. The Microsoft, Apple, Google, and Amazon rolled down early today as the other ones were showing strength, and they just, completely went up. And, MU was the tail. MU last evening showed, was trading 20, what was it, 46 and a half, 47. And that open positive today showed beautiful Tim relative strength and shrugged off. AMD did the same thing. Where's my Western Dig? Western Dig. Look at that, Western Dig. The same thing. If you told me that, Micron reported a bad number and the futures were iffy and Western Dig opened up unchanged, there's my buy with that little, blue triangle. I'm buying it at 32, still in at 33.80. All right, so it's the same thing that happened Wednesday to a degree. So AKRO, another one that I was begging people to buy. I said, just buy 10 shares of it. And you know what? Even if you didn't have for the active trader, or even if you didn't have it in the long-term label, by the way, beautiful too. Then you, hold on a second, where am I? AKRO. A stock making brand new 52-week highs in the strong biotech sector. That's one you could have been on. Alcoa. What happened here? I might sell some. This made a big move up. Live trading, Mike V. Position. I just thought it was at the 35 strike price. That's why I started selling Alcoa here. Granted, it's way oversold, but you know what? It could be building a new base. It's not that sexy, so whatever. We'll move on. Next. Another situation of strength. Hold on, where's foot? Hold on, there's my screen here. If I'm jumping ahead, you know what? Let me go back to TradeGATEHub because I'm doing disservice by not. Market's going up now, but I had to take off the trade. Where are we? Okay, TradeGATEHub. All right. So inventory everywhere. Memory chips, sneakers, and jackets. My MU up and Nike down tells you, for now at least, where the biggest inventory is. Micron shrugged off the chip inventory. Actually, it's a raisin inventory, and it's a bigger inventory with the chain of retailers. So ISE equity noted. Lisa Saunders noted. I gave you the Goldman Sachs desk activity this morning. We give you that every morning. Bank of Bull, no, it's extremely bearish. Listen, so yesterday I thought maybe Apple wound up the Apple chart wound up actually that was not a turnaround yesterday. And you know what? Where Apple was with that turnaround day after the news, for it to go back from 149 to 142, you have to watch that. But the rest of the stocks are acting okay. TTD, I'm gonna keep my eye on that one. Looks good. PayPal, Lewis asked about that one. That's considered, a better one. Run, there it was right at the gap. But G Money. There you go, right at the gap with Run. What else was going on? XBI, Lebu, pouring into Lebu today. Still, there are my buys. 769. I bought a lot of it too. A ton of it. I'm going to see what it's going to get out of it. Tesla, huge calls going on. FC Baba shrugged off. And there's a lot of stocks that are acting well right now. But you know what? You're not sure if it's window dressing, end of the month, oversold, a short squeeze. So it's a difficult market where you want to, as I said here, you know what? I apologize about going off on tangents. I had a whole preface going in before the open, but things changed drastically, even from when I came on here. Oils, if they reverse up, they go up. What? FCX calls, nice buy on silver. Asan already did that. Okay, hold on a second. My point. Market open, don't complicate. I had a good point here. Job has been right on the money, man. Last day of September 2008, a big rally. So there's the last day of September, which is the end of the quarter, including weak quarters. We've been rallying. So it's almost like this. You have to be aware of this. And it's not really a chasing market. Just trade stocks with good range, good price action, and good volume. And let's go to this. So like I say all the time, what are the wise guys doing? New share. This is what you want to see. You want to see people going out like the September. Mara bullish, September. ARK. There's Lewis. Somebody's buying a lot of ARK calls. ARK. Lewis called. You know what? Lewis called that out this morning. Bravo, Lewis. Where are you? Because I got to give you props on that one. The ARK call by Lewis. Stock selection. Everybody's really growing with the stock selection. Lewis. We'll check XBI, also ARK, and some China holding well. And that was an hour ago. Take a look at where they are now. They're breaking high. Good job, Lewis. Marvell calls, SU bullish. Marvell pulling a niner. That thing freaking flying apparently. But it's off the bottom. So Marvell's off the bottom for what I see, but it is making a nice move because MU, it goes with MU. That's all you got to know right now. Marvell, SU bullish, TLT bullish. Don't know what that is. His Fed speak coming up. 11:15. Schnabel speaks. Hopefully they're running up into the Schnabel. Tesla bullish. And you know what? Tesla, as I said before, you're welcome, Lewis. As I said before, Tesla early on, and I'm not saying this is an indication of a strong market. It was this. We maybe have to have a timestamp here. Market open down, Twitter feed. I'm just giving you an example. Nerve breakout. Don't make it hard, guys. Please look. No retail. Mike V, TM. So it's right here. I said the only calls that I see, 90% of option flow is Tesla 2 hours ago. Let's look at Tesla 2 hours ago. All right. So here we go. Option flow. The big money doesn't lie, especially in that. Tesla 2 hours ago. What is it? 11:15. We'll go back to 9:50. 11:10. 9. Yeah, right here. Tesla was right here. 264. We gave it to you 274. Nice $10 move in Tesla. There's where the calls were going. The money didn't lie there, and there were big calls. A lot of calls going off. Right here. More. We're the big guys. SPY bullish. Put call ratios getting wiped out a little bit. I would take some profits here. You got to let the market settle. BTO bullish. Twitter bullish. Should be. Here's an update. Nothing crazy going on there. A bit of stability. Put sweepers not aggressive. Still seeing Armageddon Insurance and several big names. All right. So if they turn around and they buy the puts back, the market's going to go up. BEKE, TQQQ, but that was a half an hour ago. RCL bearish flow. I put up the R. There was some JD bullet. This is 32 minutes ago. See this JD. So JD 32 minutes ago was what? I'll go to my chart in a second. JD, they were buying some China names, as Lewis noted. So 32 minutes ago, this was the JD. This was the JD calls. You guys got to start writing these down if you want to trade options or trade calls. Yeah, I have a page where I write down, Jesus put a call in September, 22, 50, 52 calls at 9,000 calls going off in September, 52 calls. Either you could write that down and note that at 5074, a lot of calls went off. That's how I gauge it. So you want to see Nike doing nothing, you rat bastard. Snap. Hold on a second. Twitter, breakout. You got to watch Twitter. I mean, it is prone to news. Everybody knows what Musk is doing. Tesla, SC, U2, Riven, Baba, PDD, a member here said this. Got to give props where it is to Gerard. Where's G Money? Oil should go $5 to the upside. I don't know about that trade yet, Lewis. I sold some of it, and that's probably going to run. Usually crude makes these type of moves on Friday, late afternoon, late morning, like 11:15 or like 1:15, going into the close, if you will. PLT going a great call, Joba. Where's the PDD that my man had? Because you know what, PDD, when G said that, it was down 90 cents, I believe, down 80 cents. I didn't pull the trigger, but it was a good eye. Futures. Listen, it's 11:15, 11:20, so let things settle down for a while. Where is it? Nerve breakout. Watch that. It was a bio day. Said that an hour ago. Already did it. I did buy silver, added to Lebu. Hassan cup and handle. Give that some work, Lewis. Hassan, you should put that one aside. And maybe, if you could take it off and not look at it, that's one you could go, that it could really work from now on. I don't know where the PDD went, but G Money brought it up. Good eye. Okay, back to what the wise guys are doing more of. And then we'll go to what's moving with range. ARC bullish, more ARC bullish. More sellers, more put sellers. Incredible. I don't know, man. That's dangerous. I did say Carvana, right? Carvana was like 21. Where's Carvana? Carvana was 21. 2160. What are you going to do? Carvana. That's the number one short squeeze. Fact. Nirvana. Wayfair, nothing. SPXL, U, D-Dog, Tesla, Nevada, MU. Where's the Western Dig? AMD back at 65. Western Dig at the high, 3380. Western Dig. Could have been someone. All right. Anyway, any questions? We'll move on. And you know what? For those, I'll leave off with this because this is what it's all about. And this is where I started. And if I had one query to be on the proverbial desert island that I look at to make a living off of, in order to get off that island, it's right here. Up high in relative volume. They'll never die. Here's it. Relative volume right here. Posh good volume. Ross Stores. MU. AKRO. So all stocks that we brought up. AFMD. Stocks on down volume. I'm sure we brought up Nike probably being one of them, you bitch. Nike, CCL, and Dix, UA. Cruise lines and retail. All right. So there's where the action is. Relative volume. As of 11:20 Eastern, you have stocks at 200% of the volume already with huge ranges. That's all you got to carry about. Don't worry about calling the market bottom, top. Try not to trade a lot during lunchtime Eastern, which says 11:30 to maybe 1 o'clock. But listen, there's plenty to do, and there's a lot of stocks that are moving. So know your style. Stick within your style. Don't let your trades turn into positions, and if they are, make sure they're best of breeds like a Nike, which I'm starting to question after today, but there's a lot going on. It's very clear. So if there's no questions, I'll sign off. More room to go. Let me see. Go back to TGH. And it was a great week for everybody. I would encourage them to go back to the YouTube channel and go back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, obviously. Not only was Joe making good calls, I was a little bit early, Coach obviously a little bit early, but they all come to fruition. And you know what? Regardless of what they do, we're wrong a lot of the time, but they're very, very high level opinions, and we're proud to bring them to you and proud to share, and we appreciate everybody sharing as well. So until then, trade well and have a plan.